The Titanic, this is what we're on. We're on the Titanic. Welcome to the Titanic. We're on it. And they're driving it. Oh, the Muslims are downstairs in the hall. We're not even on the deck. We're in the hall. And they're driving it. And they're headed right for the iceberg. And they're saying, this is an unsinkable ship. We're an indomitable species. We can't sink. We'll always find a way out. This is our nature. This is what they say. When the Titanic left, it was declared the unsinkable ship. If you do that, Allah will sink it, just to spite it. You can't do that. When they made the Challenger, now you know what Challenger means in Arabic? Mutahaddi. It's a very bad word. Who are they challenging? They're sending it off into space. Who are you challenging? Challenging who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Well, look what happened. He'll just blow you up. That's what Allah will do, literally just blow you up. And then they say, oh, it's a tragedy. The 7th grade teacher riding on raw technology. They put a 7th grade teacher into raw technology, thinking that they're قادرين عليها حتى ظن أهلها أنهم قادرون عليها. They thought the people, they'll become so deluded. Allah says in Surah Yunus, they will become so deluded that they think they're all powerful over the earth. Right? So they take off on the Challenger. Allah, you want to call it Challenger? We'll see how long the challenge lasts. Like the user on Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah says He declares war and His messenger on usury. On Yawm al-Qiyamah in the hadith, the user, the banker, right? The banker, Lloyd's Bank, all these characters, they're going to be put in front of Allah. Bank of America, Citicorp, Chase Manhattan, World Bank, they'll all be given their swords by the angels. And then the angel will say, here's your Lord, now go to war. And how long are they going to last? They're going to slit their own throats. Ya laytani kuntu turaba. Oh, would that I was dust. The Prophet ﷺ saw them on the Isra and Mi'raj drinking blood in a river, because that's the manifestation of the reality of their acts. The sensible world of dunya becomes the intelligible world of akhirah. The meanings become manifest, and this is the nature. This is what we know. We know the reality. They don't know it. They're being deluded. They're sleeping. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ مَنَامُكُمْ بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ. From His signs are your sleep during the night and the day. النَّاسُ نِيَامٌ فَإِذَا مَاتُوا انْتَبَهُوا. People are asleep, and when they die, they wake up. The Prophet ﷺ said, عُدُّوا أَنفُسُكُم مِّنْ أَصْحَابِ الْقُبُورِ. Consider yourselves already dead people. In other words, wake up now. This is what Deen of Islam is, to wake up. This is the Dajjal system, of which the pyramid is coming near to their completion. Really, they really feel that it's very close. They're talking about world government, world federation. The United Nations, in our lifetime, we've seen entering into countries and completely dissing the sovereignty of these countries without any respect for national sovereignty. That never happened historically. You realize that. Either people invaded as an act of war and aggression, but here, this is a world police. They're saying we're policing the world, right? And there's hadith in Tabarani about the armies of the Dajjal wearing blue hats, blue helmets. Now, if you look on the symbol of the United Nations, and this is where this one eye, the ray god, on the symbol of the United Nations is a spider's web over the earth. You see the earth, and then there's a spider's web, right? This is Bayt al-Ankabut. Allah says in Surah al-Ankabut that they are those who take awliya min dunillah, those who take shirk, take protecting friends other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, are like the Ankabut, kamithli Ankabut, takhada bayta, the Ankabut that takes a house. And then Allah says, وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبِيُوتِ لَبَيْتُ الْعَنْكَبُوتِ. The weakest of houses is the spider's house. Now, what has enabled the one-eyed, and I'm not saying Dajjal is TV or computers or these type things. There have been these interpretations. It's very dangerous to make ta'wil of these type of things. And I don't adhere to that school. But I do believe that these are symbols and warnings to the Muslims. In the same way that the Prophet said in a hadith sahih, عند كل جرس شيطان. Every time you hear a bell, there is a shaitan. This is an indication that Muslims should not go to public schools, because they use bells to call the children. What's that? You see, this is what happens. In the United States, do they use bells here? Do they use bells? You see, this is what they're indoctrinating the children into this system. But Muslims forget these hadiths. And if they know them, they just, oh, you know, oh, what a coincidence. No, this is something serious here. It's like Muslims that gamble with things like, oh, brother, we should, you know, in the United States we have a big problem of sending letters to congressmen, right? One man came to me, he said, brother, 2/3 of the Congress agrees we should lift the arms embargo. It's only President Clinton that's against it. All of the American people are for it, right? So write the letter to the Congress. I'm not going to waste my stamp. You know, really. I mean, ida'at al-mal is makruh. To waste your money is makruh. I'm not going to waste my stamp. Because this is what they do. They want us to gamble with, you see, it's a gamble. Well, maybe we'll win, brother, right? But for me, that's a gamble. When I hear a gamble, I say, a'udhu billah. I don't want it. We don't gamble, right? We either do something or we don't do it, but we don't gamble. And this is a big problem of the Muslims, that we lose insight into these things. So the Dajjal, the system that will enable this global network and global control is literally called the World Wide Web. Al-Bayt al-Ankabut al-Alami. That's how you would translate in Arabic. The spider, the worldwide spider's house. And they get the people on it like flies on the internet. They tell you here, what is a net? Is to catch you, to trap you. And this is what we do. It's a tool, brother. Use the tool. If the tool gets you in a vice grip, right? I mean, this is the nature of tools. They're either used for you or against you. And this tool is not in our hands. It's way, way past that. Which I'm not saying Muslims should, I'm saying we should understand these things. I'm not advocating. I mean, I would like to see all these computers just destroyed, and people say that's anti-science, brother. This is anti-technology. That's retroactive. We should be progressive. No, look at the results of what this thing is doing to people. Has it enhanced our lives? Do you really feel life has been enhanced by these wonderful discoveries? Muslims have this idea of maslaha and mafsada, of benefit and harm, and they weigh things in the balance. I mean, the fact that they've proven now that sitting behind these computer screens for pregnant women have a much higher chance of spontaneous abortion. And that's something to think about in itself. That's only one measurement that's being measured. We don't know what the effects it's having on the brain itself.